Verbally Effective with Ena Esco is an interview-style podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment with a Memphis focus. Each week, I'm joined by a featured guest with roots in Memphis. Verbally Effective delves into each guest's personal journey to uncover the incredible stories fueling their purpose, the highs and lows of their pursuits, and how through their passion, they are moving the culture forward. Be sure to follow Verbally Effective and Ena Esco on Instagram. Also, download the Verbally Effective podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play Music. Don't forget to check out the website and submit to be a guest at verballyeffective.com. Greetings, and welcome to another edition of the Verbally Effective Podcast, the podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment with a Memphis flair, all powered by We Are Memphis. I am your host, your double E, Ena Esco. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have with me the founder of JeffBow Enterprises LLC. I'm talking about Mr. Michael Jefferson. Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Things good.
Yeah. So, Michael, I know that you have this huge event coming up that I will be a part of, the hair and makeup industry mixer. Let's start right there. Tell me about this event.
Okay. So, are you familiar with the city of Memphis getting the film studios?
I think you hipped me on to that.
Okay. So, the film studios is coming to Memphis. It's a Black-owned project that's going to be in Whitehaven. A $500 million project that my company didn't see would be a good idea for that project to come to the city of Memphis and the hair industry not be aware of it, because that's potentially opening up new doors for new ways into the industry or into another industry in regards to doing hair and makeup. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to him and I asked him, well, when you bring that to the city, are you going to outsource hair and makeup, meaning are you going to deal with people out of the city or are you going to deal with locals? We came up with an idea. He couldn't guarantee how production companies was going to act when they come to the city to shoot a movie, but I did want him to be able to put us on notice too, and make them aware of who we are and what we're able to bring to the table. So I asked him if I could put on the show. If I put on the show, would he come out and support, introduce himself? And he agreed to do that. He agreed to be with me in VIP. So I got to work. I didn't really know what I was going to do after he told me, but I got to work. I started making some calls. And one thing just led into another, and it just spiraled all the way up into a huge production coming in next week.
Yes, it's coming next week. We're going to get more into it. But, Michael, let's start at the beginning, because I know that you are not originally from Memphis. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Greenville, Mississippi.
Okay, so you consider yourself a country boy?
I'm definitely a country boy. I'm the country boy that loves to cook.
That loves to cook? What you cooking over there?
I cook anything. My wife will tell you I'm the best cook in the house.
I believe it, because I got me a country boy from Batesville, Mississippi, and that's one of the things that sealed the deal.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
So let's talk about you growing up in Greenville, Mississippi. What was the young Michael into back in Greenville?
Well, I was into a whole lot of things. Growing up initially with my dad and my stepmom, I was in the church. My dad, mom, my grandmother, she sung, she played piano, she had me doing all those things.
So you're musically inclined?
I'm very musically inclined.
So you can sing and play?
I plead the fifth.
Let's go, Michael. Okay.
So
okay.
When my grandmother passed, I kind of gravitated more to the people I hung around in the neighborhood and didn't really have that structure that I needed growing up, because she passed when I was real young. Mm-hmm. Strangely enough, she passed playing the piano at church.
Wow.
So when she passed, I just started getting in a lot of trouble. I started, calling myself wanting to sell drugs and rob, do whatever it takes to get money. And it led me into a life of crime that, took me away from my family for a while.
And this was all in Greenville?
This was all in Greenville.
Wow. Yeah. So, you're sitting here with me today, so I know you have a testimony.
Well, I can say I don't look like what I've been through.
Okay.
I can honestly say that, and I don't feel like what I've been through. Mm-hmm. because I know who I serve, and I know what he's able to clean up.
Amen.
And he did just that.
Yes, and he will do it. And he will do it. So what brought you from Greenville to Memphis?
My wife, okay, she is from Greenville herself. And I tell this story, and she don't even believe it, but I tell this story all the time. We worked our first job together at 15 years old. I flipped chicken at Popeyes, and she was at the register. She never even noticed me. But over the years, we probably worked together about 2-3 weeks. But over the years, I never forgot her name. And it's a unique name, so it's kind of hard to forget anyway. But when I met her again, 15, maybe 20 years later, she was already living here in Memphis, and I wanted to be where she was at, so I came up here.
All right, and look, a woman will do that.
Yeah.
A woman will bring you right on where she at.
Yep, she'll change you.
Wow. So tell me about JeffBow Enterprises LLC and how it all began.
Okay. Well, I was recently telling you that I moved to Vegas. On my way to Vegas, my wife left first to go and get established on a job. I was left home to sell the house, sell the furniture, and one day I felt like God was telling me, you need to start an LLC. That was in 2018. I started the LLC not really knowing what I wanted to call it or what I really wanted to do as far as what industry I wanted to be in, even though I'm in the hair industry. So JeffBow is a combination of my last name and my wife's last name. Her last name is Bowman. Her maiden last name is Bowman. So I just said, well, I'm just going to combine our two names because whatever I do, I want her to be a part of it. I want her to benefit from it just as much as I do. So, and that was in 2018. Moved to Vegas, had a hard time finding a barbershop that I wanted to work in on a consistent basis, even though I did, hang out and work with Floyd Mayweather's personal barber. But we didn't stay in Vegas long enough for me to get established. About 6 months at the most. We were back in Memphis, realizing that was too fast. So we're back in Memphis. I got this LLC. Still don't have time to do anything with it. I needed money right now. So I went back to work in a barbershop, and God kept telling me, you got to do something with that LLC. So I started another business, and it had nothing to do with my LLC. It was Barber Concierge. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that, but I know that being inside of the barbershop wasn't enough for me. So I wanted to be able to go into nursing homes or go to people's homes and be able to service them where they can't come to the barbershop or where they're just too busy to sit in the barbershop all day. So
that's a good idea.
I got pushed out of the barbershop that I was in because of what I was doing on the side. The owner called me one day. He was like, hey, you're never here. When you're here, you're not really, talkative. You all in your own zone. And apparently that was enough to make everybody in the barbershop uncomfortable. And in the process, it was making me uncomfortable leaving, but I felt like God was pushing me out of my comfort zone anyway.
Sound like it.
So when I left there, I went into another barbershop, which was like about 5 minutes away from that one. But the pandemic hit shortly after that, and all the barbershops had to close. Right. Now here I am with JeffBow Enterprises and with Barber Concierge, and I got clients calling me that I can't get to because I can't get in the barbershop. So during the pandemic, I started loading up my car, going to people's houses, getting out of the car, going inside their houses, cutting their hair, getting back in. And I just got tired of that all of a sudden. But I'm like, it's just too much going back and forth. If I can just take the whole barbershop to them where I don't have to pack my stuff up out of it and go in and come out and clean up after myself and all that, I can just have them come out curbside, get what they need done on their time. And then I made it so convenient for them. I made it with Wi-Fi accessible. If they was on a Zoom call, they would still be able to take their calls. Or if the kids were, back then, kids was, at home doing homeschooling, the kids could be out there on their laptops while they're getting their haircuts. I made it really convenient for them, and it just took a whole nother turn for me. Wow. To the point now that I just sat down with 2 business partners over the last couple of days. And our goal is by the end of this year to have 5 more of those vans running around the city of Memphis. And the platform that we're using is, it's got the potential to take us across country.
So how did you come up with that idea? And have you seen it before? And you
I
probably
saw
built
it
on
before.
it?
The crazy thing is, during that time I was away, when I got in trouble and God sat me down, I drew it in prison. No lie. I drew my plan in prison. And then when I came home, I was telling my dad, I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. I know I can't do it in Greenville because Greenville is not going to be receptive. It's just too small for Greenville. I got to get out of here. And my dad was so protective of me because he had just lost me for a while. And my dad, that's my guy. So he was like, nah, I don't think you need to go up there. That's too fast for you. I don't want you to get in trouble. Because, hey, I was a knucklehead. I mean, be truthful, and even coming home, it still took a lot of convincing my folks that, hey, what you see now is really what you get. God set me down for a reason, and I'm okay with being set down if I learn from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just came up here with that idea, and I called State Board. They were like, hey, for a while they wouldn't let me do it because it was not something that you could monitor on a regular basis like a regular barbershop. But after a while, I called one day and they was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and let you do it.
Great.
They told me what I needed to do to get it done. And right now, I'm 1 or 2 people in the city that only know what's going on and how to do it.
Wow. Well, when people have a great business idea, it's going to be some people coming right behind you trying to duplicate.
But my goal is the reason I like the life of crime, the reason I like the life of crime is because I was able to get money. I was able to live a lavish lifestyle. That lavish lifestyle, God never took that taste bud away from me. He just gave me a different means of getting it. So everything that I do is upper echelon. It's a production. If I show you the inside of my van, you would not believe that I got hardwood floors. You wouldn't believe I have a fireplace. You wouldn't believe I have a wine cooler in there. You wouldn't believe all of that was able to fit inside of a van. And now it's able to fit in. Now I got the same concept to patent it and trademark it and putting them in a lot of vans.
Come on, Michael. I love it. Wow. So you're going to expand at this point?
Yep.
Wow.
We are.
And it sounds like that you have partnered up with a lot of movers and shakers in the city of Memphis.
Yeah, I got one in particular. She has a online barber and cosmetology apprenticeship school where her platform is not just in Memphis. It is nationwide because she's funded by the federal government. And we're using that platform to market because I'm now on the board of directors. I'm actually an executive director of that school, and I'm also an educator there. So when I teach from inside of my van.
Wow. And you know what was crazy? Growing up, my mom was a beautician. And I remember going to the beauty shop with her. I remember her having to work with a bunch of women, not always the nicest women too.
Right.
So I can see how you wanted to go ahead and branch out and do your own thing.
See, the thing is, the competition in the barbershop is just too much. You got people that's coming in the door, just regular walk-ins that just want to sit down and get service. And you got other barbers that's doing nothing but can't get to him because somebody else has taken claim on him when he walked in the door.
How do they choose?
They say, "Hey,
no,
there's somebody I've dealt with before. I'm gonna cut him again." Instead of saying, "Hey, you ain't got nothing going on, you can do it." So I just built this. I built myself an industry or niche where I have no competition.
Right.
So I can set my prices where I want. I have nobody coming back to lowball me or tell me, "Hey, man, it's not worth all that." No, it's worth all that.
Yeah, because they really paying for some convenience on top of the service you're providing.
And on top of the amenities that I give when you come in, you get the drink.
Okay.
You get the drink.
You got the bar.
Right. You get the drink. You got TV. It's a one-on-one time, whereas you know, some people are very busy professionals that don't want a lot of conversation in the barbershop. They just want to sit there and be quiet and get it done and get over. Some, they want to watch the news, so I'm able to give that person what they want to watch instead of one person want to watch something different than the other person want to watch. I'm able to cater to that particular person for 35, 45, maybe an hour, and you're going on about the rest of your day. You have not lost a minute of your day.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so let's go back to the hair and makeup industry mixer. This is an event that is coming up actually next weekend on the 25th, correct? So tell me about all the people that you have involved and how is the flow of the event? What can people expect?
Okay, starting at 9 a.m., the doors will open. We will have educational classes, makeup artist class, hairstylist, barber. The people that we have lined up to teach are very Instagram popular from in their own particular areas. Like the barber I have, he has like 41,000 followers. The makeup artist, she may have 35,000. We intentionally found people that had a huge following that people really wanted to see in person anyway. So we have those people on deck. We have yourself hosting. We have a fashion show that's expected to take place between the last part of the day, right before the mixer.
And the fashion show piece, not only will it be clothing, it's hair.
It's hair and clothing, makeup, everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. We have this guy, I don't know if you know him, his name's Zebo, Zachary Morrow. So he's actually going to put on a fashion show. He's actually designing something that I'm going to wear that night.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be a huge production. I mean, we took time and dealt with a lot of small details to the point where if we needed to do it again, which we are going to do it again in April, we have the Grizzlies who agreed to be our top sponsor in April. So we're going to do it in a bigger space, hopefully at the Cook Convention Center or at the Renaissance Center.
Yes, because it sounds like what you're doing, I think they do some of this in Atlanta already, right?
Bronner Brothers.
Bronner Brothers, yes.
Yeah, I'm taking a page out of Bronner Brothers' book. I'm also knowing that Bronner Brothers is a huge example for anybody or a huge act for anybody to follow. And I definitely don't want to try to take any of their spotlight because that's just impossible. But I want to learn from them and be able to bring the same atmosphere to Memphis, because what Memphis is getting ready to do, we need a lot of stuff going on here. We need to wake the city up. We got Kojic coming back in November.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah,
it's big business.
And I just heard on the news the other day that the tourism industry in Memphis last year was over $1 billion or something like that. Yeah, we just need some stuff going on here.
It's a lot of people that are moving to the city of Memphis. Now, the people that's inside of the city, if they don't know what's going on, they need to get here.
Right, and the reason the people are moving here is because they know.
They know.
They know, and we don't know. And that's what this show is about, is to put the city on notice. Hey, you're going to get slept on if you don't know what's going on.
That's true. That's true. Well, Mr. Jefferson, I have truly enjoyed you on the show. I know you represent my good friends over there at Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Let me tell you something about them Sigmas. They book me every year for several events, and they are the most professional fraternity that I have ever worked with.
That's
you
good
understand
to know.
me?
That's good to know.
Good people. Good people.
Good
So you're a part of an exceptional organization, and I can't wait to work with you at the Hair and Industry Mixer on the 25th.
Exactly. I can't wait.
Yes. So let everybody with the Verbally Effective audience know how they can continue to follow your journey.
You can follow me on Instagram at JeffBow ENT. That's JeffBow ENT. You can also follow me on Facebook at JeffBow Enterprises LLC. Any kind of questions you have, you can catch us on social media at all times. We're in the DM. We're answering messages as soon as they come through. I just want the city to be on notice that what's about to happen here, we need to be a part of. We need to be a part of it because it's our city.
That's true. That's true. We got to reclaim our city over here in Memphis. There's been a lot going on, but it's a lot of good that's happening right now. So I want to thank you, Michael, for joining me today on the Verbally Effective podcast with JeffBow Enterprises LLC. Make sure you guys follow him. Stay in tune to what he has going on. Make sure that you actually go to the event, the Hair and Makeup Industry Mixer, on September 25th. And thank you again for listening and subscribing to the Verbally Effective Podcast. I'll see you guys next week.
This is the Spotlight Podcast Network.